Hey everyone, today I'm going to be swapping the circuit board from this beat up Legend of Zelda Link to the Past cartridge into this really good condition Legend of Zelda Link to the Past cartridge. And you might ask, why would you do this? And it's kind of a weird one-off case, and I just thought, hey, why not capture it on video and tell a bit of a story here. So, and also explain why is Mario Paint here. So this cartridge I've had ever since I was a kid, ever since this game came out, which I think was 1992, maybe, I forget. Anyway, this is the original Legend of Zelda Link to the Past cartridge that I had, me and my brother had when we were a kid, but the circuit board inside of it is not the Legend of Zelda Link to the Past, even though I thought it was. So, what happened? Basically, when we were a kid one time, and, you know, we're pretty young, immature, my brother rage quit playing this game after he died on some dungeon, and he yanked it out of the Super Nintendo and he threw it like the baby he is, and he actually broke this shell apart and the PCB came flying out. And ever since then, like, it was broken, it couldn't go back together and all that kind of stuff. And ever since then, when I was a kid, we were actually playing the game with just the green circuit board plugged into the Super Nintendo, and because of that, whenever it would wiggle a little bit, the game would lose contact, and wherever he was in the game would get lost. So it ended up in more rage quits. So what I did was you can see here the cartridge is broken from the impact, and because of that, it doesn't make contact with this little tab here, and it kind of floats around. So I just, lacking a better solution, I just rolled up some electrical tape and wedged it in there, and that kept the cartridge in place. Now, I only started collecting a few years ago, and this is one of the few things I had in my boxes of stuff from my childhood to kind of like seed my collection. It was this and Super Mario Land 2 for Game Boy. And my Virtual Boy. Those are like the three things I started with. So I'm going through my boxes of stuff, old toys, you know, most of it has been like given away over the years, so I had very little left. And down in the bottom of the box, I found this empty cartridge. And I'm like, I remember this. Where's the game? I should have a circuit board somewhere. It wasn't in that box. So I started going through other boxes, and eventually at the bottom of another box, I found this circuit board. And I'm like, oh my God, lo and behold, this is the game. I go clean it up, put it in here, get the tape in, get the cartridge back together. I plug it in, and what do I see pop up on the screen instead of the three Triforces? Mario Paint. This cartridge here is Mario Paint, and I have no idea where it came from, because I had Mario Paint as a kid, but at no point did we also break Mario Paint. Then we had these cartridges floating around. I think what happened is some of my friends donated to me boxes of old cables and junk, like basically e-waste, and I take that stuff. Like, I love it. I think maybe one of them had this Mario Paint in the bottom of their box, and I'm just thinking, man, what one of my friends rage quit on Mario Paint, where they ended up with just the circuit board. And furthermore, where's my Legend of Zelda circuit board? It's gone, never to be found again. It's a mystery. Well, considering I have this pristine shell and I really wanted Link to the Past, I don't know what it's like in your neighborhood, but in my neighborhood, Legend of Zelda Link to the Past, with a label not even in this good a shape, is easily $50, most of the time $60. And I'm like, I'm not paying that when I've got a perfectly good display item here. So that's all it was. All this time it's just been on display, unplayable. And I thought, you know, one day if I come across a cheap copy, I'll pick it up. I was even thinking of going on to like AliExpress or eBay and trying to deliberately find a fake, and being like, you know what, I know it's a fake, like talking about a reproduction cartridge. I know it's a repro, but it plays fine, it plays accurately. If I put it in an authentic shell instead of a fake label, and the price is good, maybe it's 15, 20 bucks, I'm cool with that. But that never happened. But what happened today is I went to an antique store, and they were having a store-wide sale, 20% off, and I got this super beat-up Legend of Zelda Link to the Past that no one would ever want. I got it for 25 bucks. And you know what? I'm cool with that. So let's open it up, and we're going to do a few things here. For one, what I want to do is replace the back of this cartridge with a one that's not broken, because that'll solve my problems. However, this one, the back's pretty beat up. I think I'm going to go into my collection, find a back that I like better, and then swap those. But anyway, all I got to do is, voila, swap the fronts. And I mean, we need a place to keep our Mario Kart, so we might as well put it back in. And wait a second, are these different versions? Or did I just have it flipped around wrong? I just have it flipped around wrong. Okay, let's examine this one. So I guess you can't blame me for thinking that it was Zelda. They look really similar. It's even got all the same labeling, same, oh, different copyright, 1990. Okay, there's one, but it looks like the same chips, relatively the same layout, and I'm going to have to replace these batteries soon, I'm thinking. So, for now, step one is just getting it in the right case. Step two, clean it up, get a clean back. Because not only is that back beat up a bit, it also looks pretty dirty. So here's my cheap, hacky fix. Let's just wedge that in there. Let's put the new label on it. Great. So obviously this is a game bit screwdriver. I'm going to use some rubbing alcohol and clean the contacts before I put this one back together. But yeah, I'm very excited to introduce properly, officially, legit Legend of Zelda cartridge with a really, really pristine label. Oh, get rid of the, getting fuzzy. And finally, I don't have to play this game through emulation or on my Game Boy Advance anymore. I can play it on the real thing. This cartridge looks gross, so I'm also just going to clean this up. For me cleaning, usually I start with some rubbing alcohol. If it gets any worse, I go immediately to Deoxit D5. I don't mess with erasers or Brasso or any of that crazy stuff. I tried all of it. Deoxit is no nonsense. The reason why I don't go to Deoxit first is it's a mineral oil and it kind of gets everywhere. Alcohol is a lot neater and cleaner to work with, so if I can get the job done with alcohol, I prefer it, and if I can't, it's straight to Deoxit. So look at that, $25 and just some patience and searching, and I have basically the closest thing I can get to owning the actual cartridge I had as a kid under the circumstances. So thanks for watching this. I got 2 Mario paints and 1 Zelda. Alright, thanks.